recording Marcus DQQ Lifestyle Podcast, and it's the submersible things going in right now. RIP to those that are on board. If it is one of them ones, hopefully it's not, they get found washed up somewhere. But it looks mad at the moment. Also, on the last one, get that out of there for you. You want to see that? Also, on the last one, I was talking about people being big babies instead of using their words and not being taught this. One sec. Yeah, and people being big babies. Yes, I'm just moving away for those that are listening. The mic quiet, so sorry for the rattle and rattle. So people being big babies, not using their words. It's something, once again, from childhood. So not just about me, I'm just about like now for people going forward who have got young children, like don't just switch on them. Don't just switch and be, and not just switch and start shouting, blowing up out of the blue, because that's what they're learning. So regardless what you say, I told you not to do, they are internalizing that and gonna repeat that. Because that's what you do in that situation, they're thinking. When that happens, they move like that. So regardless what you say, it's always actions speak louder than words. And the actions speak louder than words is what I mean when I say learn behavior. Because they're always watching and picking it up of how to do something. Do you know what I mean? If you was to sit there, if you was sat in like a dark room all your life and then there's someone trying to tell you like what you do, you throw a punch like this and that, like a boxing punch, it's not going to be as good as the person that's shown you twist, come with a hint, make sure you twist into it kind of thing. It's going to be different for the person that's actually shown or can see someone doing it to someone that's just getting told and doesn't know anything else any different. So these are the learned behaviors. We learn behaviors all the time. So yeah, explaining things to your kids. I personally don't believe in hitting kids. Do you know what I mean? Or shouting at them. I don't think you ever have to raise your voice. But we're all different and we have different children. So sometimes it may require it if it's a little bit more challenging. So I do understand why some people may, but on the same point, I think you even know yourselves, like certain people will be hitting and shouting at their kids when you know that kid doesn't need that. Do you know what I mean? That kids can get it if you just give them that time and explain such things to them like that. So yeah, so we just need to explain. We just need to explain ourselves. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about impulsive decision making. What is that? What is it? What do I mean? So when someone says to you, "Well, why did you do it?" I just did it. Or like, what did you do? Oh, I just did this and that. Oh, so why did you do that? Oh, I just felt like it. That's acting on impulse. There's no thinking about it. There's no consequential thinking that, right, if I do that, it's going to be detrimental to me in this way. So a man said something, I boxed him. Boxed him right in his this piece, mouthpiece. And now his mates are chasing me. That's a consequence. Or now I'm getting sacked from work because it's gone viral online. I'm getting tagged left, right and centre. Click, click, click. That's a consequence. Now I've got Fez knocking on my door. They're talking about like recall. That's a consequence. It's like there's no thinking like beyond this point. Like and not just even, I always talk about violence and stuff because what I want me in an ideal, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Yo, mud thing. Listen, I know what you're thinking. The man has got a voice like silk, you know. Silk to the ears, velvet. But don't even worry about it. I already know, so don't even worry about it, yeah? Anyway, I would like, what I want to do, the whole point of the fucking podcast, kid, right, is to be able to get people that are living that road life, living that, like, I'm hearing some static here. Yo. Just make sure everything connected up correctly. Well, it could be this actually. Oh, there's not even a wire there. Anyway, apologies, yeah? Just checking my equipment for those that are listening. So it's to be able to, if you are living that road life, that gang stuff, or any kind of criminal lifestyle, whether it's, you're just a passive, hard drug taker, whether you're a hardcore gangster, whether you're whatever. I don't know. You fill the blanks. You know people or you know yourself. You know what I mean? Like, but it's detrimental to yourself. Even if you're not like a criminal side of things, even if you're just not living to your best, man's just trying to give you the tools. Like, well, you need to extract it from what I'm saying because I'm not just like laying this into how to. I'm telling you how I did it. Do you know what I mean? And like, I'm not special to be able to like go from a man that was just impulsive, on a mad one, road to destruction, self-sabotage to death, had all the faulty thinking going. Like every time they mention the faulty thinking thing, like I said, denial and minimization, fucking making a mountain out of a molehill. There's all kinds of ones I've already mentioned that I say contributes to mental health because it's just faulty thinking. You're not thinking right. Do you know what I mean? Like, not thinking right, it's not the best word because it's like, oh, well, I'm this and that, you know. It's like not going down that victim route. Even being in a victim position constantly. Do you know what I mean? Like, why is it always happening to me? This and that, you're always doing that to me. Da, 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 da. Regardless whether they're saying it like, oh, it's always happens to me, or whether you're being aggressive with it. It's a victim position. Like, I read something on my timeline or whatever, Facebook, yeah? And some woman must have been saying, she'd been somewhere 15 minutes, might have been a school run or something, came out, bang, big yellow and black thing stuck to the window. You know it's a fine, you know you want to kick off. She said, I seen it, and she even said, I could have gone into the victim position. I thought, why me? I was only gone for this long, and this and that, and the only this and that. They're all justifications. Like, end of the day, you know for yourself that they hang about for 5 minutes. Sometimes it might be a bit hasty. But you was in the wrong. She understood she's in the wrong. And that's these higher thinking skills, like I said before, like when you're going on what some people might call like higher consciousness, high frequency, high vibration, just being able to just rise above the emotional baseline of, oh, why is this happening to me? Why is this, do you know what I mean? Like there's this underneath this baseline, do you know what I mean? Of this emotional negative, where it's coming above it and thinking about it, thinking, right, do you know what? I'm in the wrong here. I shouldn't have parked there. I'm on double yellow. Do you know what I mean? I parked on double yellow lines and it's like, do you know what? It's a risk you take. Do you know what I mean? If I get caught, I get caught. That's my fault. I parked there. I wasn't forced to park. Don't say, yeah, don't take a gun to me and say, yo, park over there. Park over there. I'm like, you know what I mean? Get out, come buy some sweets. Come back out, I've got a thingy. But I was like, I had to park there because I had a gun to me. Like, no. I didn't want to walk. I parked there. I got the fucking fine. Anyway, back to her story because, you know. And she said, I could have gone into the victim position, but I thought, no, boom. And I paid it before I even like drove off. And I just felt freer. I just felt freer that I took the conscious decision to be able to just deal with it. To just be able to deal with it in the matter. Sorry, my phone's pinging. It's important. Important. You know I would never, ever neglect you lot. Never. You know what's there? You know that I'm on you lot. You know it anyway. Hay fever's triggering me asthma. I got asthma, by the way. Fun fact, allegedly, all mixed race. I don't know if it's all mixed race or if it's the white English, Jamaican black. Either have eczema, asthma, or both. I'm an asthma. Now, if you are mixed race or you know someone that's mixed race or you got mixed race kids or whatever, ask them or look on them. If you're the parents, you already know. You know what I mean? At least ask them. You know what I mean? Hey, up there, 2-year-old. You got eczema. Doctor done told you, long time. Anyway, or it may come along out of the blue. I've had asthma all my life. I've been hospitalised twice by it. As a kid though. And yeah. But the hay fever was so bad, it's triggering the asthma now. Like, it's from the... But I'm not as healthy as I was anyway in terms of cardiovascularly. So, I don't know if that's the word, but that's what I say. CV-wise, but I'm getting back onto it. Throwing bits and bats in there. But yeah, back to the woman. She felt freer and I read it, had to comment, say, yo, great mindset, smiley face, boom, done. Because that is something to be praised because it is getting out of that negative mindset, that bind. Because we're just like a Tasmanian devil. You're just in a spin. And once you get that clarity of mind, you can just watch people be in a spin. Now, don't think that I am perfect, like I'm spitting, like I still get in my feelings. And then we go boom and we plummet. But it's just being able to come back and rebound from that, be like, hold on, what's going on here? And all these words and phrases that I use, just look them up. Just look them up, like rumination and impulsive decision making, whatever, yeah? Look them up. And then, because it's these thinking skills where it's like, bam. It's like I'm just falling I'm just falling down like just got a ladder. I'm just going brrr, just falling down. And then when I come back to like my senses, like whoa, bang! Grabbed hold of one of the rungs of the ladder, some big long ass ladder. Stairways all the way up there, all the way down to bit of t-shirt, all the way down to the depths. I'm just bam, I'm like bro, fucking hell, ruminating there. All I'm thinking about is when really I should be thinking of how to get through this, not thinking like they're pissing me off, they're always doing this, they're always doing that, and going down that, because that's just the, what am I doing? You know what I mean? It's always bants and shit. But yeah, going down that is just, so what about that? Even if I confronted that person like, you do this and you do that, that same thing I've been ruminating on, like what is it gonna, I need to work on me because it's making me feel away. You get it? So once I realize how I'm feeling, like yo, like what? So just say for example on a TC now. So I'm saying yo, just say like Breville man, yeah, Breville, bomber clotted, yeah. So this it happened. So just give you a rough like outline. So I'm like, he said this and he said that. He's mentioning names out there. Man's talking about touching man. They're like, oh, but did he? Is that what he said? He said he's gonna like touch people. I'm like, well, nah, I didn't say it, but you know. But obviously, these men are roadmen as well. I'm talking to these men have been on the TC longer than me, been doing therapy longer than me, yeah. Man's all done caught a body a long time, pickney aged, you know what I mean? Gun crime, done his time, got come back in on the next one, mad one. But he's cluing up, he's on it. And he was certain people impacted my life, and people do impact our lives, but we don't know it. We don't know it. Do you know what I mean? And whether that's people that we know or celebrity, like on screen, it's all mad now. But still people that influence us all the time, negatively, and it also came out positively. So he positively impacted me on this one. I might have even spoke about it before, but me and go in again because it's relevant. So he goes, oh, did he? Is that what he said? I said, nah, but you know what it means? Like you get it, like boom. But like I say, the regular man would be like, yeah, I get it, because it is true. It's not to say it's not true that man say things, but mean you know what they mean. You get it? Now it might have, but it wasn't clarified. It didn't 100% say that. So my mind is now connecting some next dots. You know the ones there. Whether the dots are true or not, I don't know, because I'm connecting them. Do you know what I mean? But what is a fact is he didn't actually say straight like I'm gonna get your people touched or I can get your people touched. I've come to that conclusion myself because as humans, we make patterns. We make patterns out of life. We make connections. Like that's how we survive. Do you know what I mean? It's probably why Monday always comes back round and Tuesday and February, you know them ones there. Like they always come back round. Like not because the world spins as well. Depends what theory you're on. You might be a flat earther. But anyway, we make seasons as well. Seasons come around. And did you know that not all over the world, this is to my like UK like peeps, like did you know that like all over the world there's not 4 seasons? I've never even thought about it. Like I was on some like what was I on? What is it that? Acupressure training, yeah? HMP Kurt Levington. I forgot what the woman was called. She gave me a book. She signed it as well. Look her up. Sue Cox. COX. SUE Sue Cox. COX. Her story's mad. Inspirational woman as well. Right. And she's talking about China, saying that, yeah, you know, and their 5 seasons. I'm thinking, what? What's the 5th one? I don't even think they're the same 5. And then, like, it turns out in, like India, Pakistan type of ways, they've got 3 seasons. They've got this one, that one, and monsoon. What? Why isn't this taught? Why ain't this taught? And why am I taught that magma is lava underground? What's going on? What they doing to me? Anyway, educational bands. I hope you're not laughing when I'm laughing. You got me sat here on a mad one laughing to the baddest jokes. You know these jokes are serious. And then you're just sat there like straight face, like, how dare you? You better be LOLing. You know the ones there? Anyway, where was I? Me I bus on the sidebar. And I don't know. Oh, so yeah, chatting to my man, the G. He's going, so did he say that? I said, no, but you know what he meant. But he said, but he didn't say that though. He knows the man anyway. We're all good friends. We normally walk around the thingy together, but this man didn't come out today. Probably for the fact of him knowing that like I've got a bit more. I'm new to the wing. I've come on like a year or so after him, but I've got a bit more of an influence because I'm a bit more likable than him. So he's in, but he rubs people up the wrong way a little bit because you don't fully get him. Like, so it's not really fully out to do with him. He's just got his own ways. He's a bit older as well, so he's got his own ways, and it's just a bit. He rubs people up a bit the wrong way sometimes. So he probably didn't come out thinking, "Yo, what's the point in coming out?" Because man, I'm on Marx's side. Do you know what I mean? Because that's kind of how I wanted it anyway at that time. Because that's how you want it, innit? When something happens, you want to be backed. You want as many people like, what, you're taking that? So if someone's saying something that's counter to your argument, you're like, what's he on my man's side? He's like, they're like, nah, I'm just trying to. And in the end, they have to just fuck their own morals and like principles of like, oh, do you know what? Yeah, cool, he's a dickhead anyway. And you're like, yeah. You're basically like, yeah, come. He's still stood there, but you're like, yeah, come to my side. Come over this line. This imaginary line in my mind. Anyway, he's gonna listen, we'll talk to him. I said, forget all that. I don't want to be near him. Yeah? He's like, he's not even bothered. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you know what I mean? So yeah, we had a few more words. I didn't like what he was saying. He was talking pure facts. Pure factual stuff, proper. Not positive, but he was on the positive way of thinking about it. He's on a growth mindset. He's on a solution-based thing. But I'm not hearing it at that time. So I'm new, innit? So I haven't got to that position to be able to, I haven't grown in that area yet. So I'm like, oh, do you know what? Yeah, cool, yeah, safe. I just like, kind of like, we're walking around together in this circle, as you know, prison, you know what I mean? And I just like, kind of like, yeah. Yeah, cool. I've spoke about this before, but anyway, so what I'm saying is, what all my original point is I've had to get to where I am now, like bit by bit, and like thinking about things. So what that guy did there is when I got into like the group setting, the community meeting, and just going around, I wasn't going to say nothing. I told you I've already threatened the guy saying, yo, don't say nothing. Not the main guy, his little brethren, because he's trying to like score points off people to be able to get off the TC quick. He did it though. He was scoring some different points. But he didn't say nothing anyway. He held it down. He didn't say nothing. But it got to me and I said something. Do you know what I mean? Because I thought, you know what? He's right. He's right. Like, it is about me. I've got a problem with it. Do you know what I mean? So then it's unpicking that, because at the time, these feelings, because a lot of the times, when you've got this feeling, it's not just one feeling. It's this feeling, and then this feeling, and then this feeling, and then this feeling that makes this like a next kind of soup. A soup of feelings. You know the ones there? So you're not just feeling sad. You're like disappointed on top of vulnerable. So you're like vulnerable sad. You know the ones? It becomes a new hybrid. So it's like it's a mad OT. Like anytime you're vulnerable, it's mad. You might even get vulnerability twisted with anxiety because it's a similar feeling. It's that shaky kind of like, whoa, like something's like. So you thought about something so being vulnerable is like being naked, not having, and you're not knowing. You're not knowing, yeah? So it's like, right, what's going to happen here? And that sounds like anxiety. So imagine if you're getting like diagnosed, if they're giving you like tablets. Now that's why I'm a bit against the tablet thing, medication thing. Not to say everyone don't need it though, so don't get me wrong. And if you want to do it, you can do it. I mean, I'm not trying to stop people and whatnot, but it's just my view because I'm more of like the counselling side of things, because that's what helps mix it with faulty thinking. And that's what mental health is, isn't it? It's all about the mind, how you think. So there's two ways you can think: a very, very, very unhealthy way, or like even if you're half decent. Do you know what I mean? But you have to kind of fight off, because a lot of the times when you think back, to how you think now, especially us that are like my age, like 35, mid 30s. I'm 25. Don't worry about it, yeah. But them that are in the mid 30s, them old people, yeah, they possibly haven't always been like that. So this is what I'm saying about everything's in the chat, like in the past. The truth is in the past. Do you know what I mean? Or our answers and our solutions are in the past. It's like, where did we start to? Because a lot of people will be like, oh, I used to be fun, like, I used to have loads of friends, I used to go out here, this and that, and I used to go to the gym, and I used to light work, and blah, 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 blah. They're like 4, 5, 6 things going from, yeah? But what it is, they didn't stop doing them all at once. Some people might have. Don't get me wrong, some people do. They might have all got too much. They've been taken away from it. Like, not like a mad one, just like, oh, love, do you know what? Boom. Work understands that you've had like a bit of a breakdown or whatever. Don't call it a breakdown, call it a breakthrough, because you've hit such a bottom. Whoa, you've hit such a low point that, like, it's not even, forget a low point. You've hit a wall and you can break through it. Some people stay at this wall, but you can break through. Because a lot of times on the TC, man, be like, what? Like, oh, they don't want to talk about it. Like, people still questioning, not mad questioning, like, oh, what you saying? Just answer the question. Like, nothing like that. Like, just in your own time, mate. Like, why did you do that? Like, how are you feeling? Just let us know. Like someone on that side saying, just how you feeling, mate. Like, you are looking a little bit. Like, oh, so what do you want from me? Do you want me to just cry? And that's a bit of a, like, we have to sometimes the writing's on the wall. Sometimes we have to read between the lines, and that's what I do a lot of. Like, people are communicating something without saying it. Like, if someone says to me, "Oh, do you know what? Fuck off," they're saying it. They just want me to stop. They want me to stop or go away. They could have said, "Please, sorry, but it's a bit much. Can you? I just need some space." They don't have to say, "Can you do anything?" I just need some space. I'm just gonna go and catch a breather, yeah. Or one second, let me just get a fag. Some people might have been that tactful, like, yo, I'm just gonna have a vape or whatever outside. When really it's getting a bit much for him. They're going ballistic inside, just like the guy that's just gone, oh, Joe, fuck off. He's just blown up, or she. But there's ways and means. Same outcome, but one's got a bit of a better, because now I might be thinking, who's they? Who they talking to then? See what I mean? And I might not ever do anything like super in their face, but I'm bitching behind their back. They've created it anyway. I'm sabotaging them. I'm getting onto them. I'm telling other people. And like, if it's at work, I might be telling like a superior, like they're not getting the eyes put on them, like bare spotlights on them now, like boom. So that's what people do. Do you know what I mean? Because that person that just told me to fuck off doesn't know themselves, what they're trying to communicate, and don't understand how they're feeling to just be able to communicate effectively rather than like aggressively. And then they say it's me, and I don't know how to take that. Not to understand like, oh, boom, empathy. They're probably going through some stuff, and possibly at some point in time, whether it's 10 minutes from now, 10 days from now, 10 months from now, oh, how's things anyway? Just get to know them. How's things? Everything all right? Oh, yeah. Everyone probably start off like, yeah, you're all right. Yeah, you're okay? Yeah, I'm okay. But are you okay? I'll be like, oh, do you know what? Alhamdulillah. You know, do you know what? And then start to unfold things. You're like, fuck, you know. By the time they finish talking, you think, fuck, you know, I'd have told me to fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Because now we understand, because people don't just do things for doing things' sake. Like, everyone's got their reason. Do you know what I mean? Some people use their reason as an excuse. There's not too much, there's a fine line between reason and excuse. Because the reasoning can be worked with, but if you're constantly using that reason, it's just an excuse thing. You're trying to excuse your behaviour. Right? Rather than if we find out what the reason is, then we can work on it. You know, the one's there. And you can untangle it, and slowly, just so you always do 5 things every time you're annoyed or irritated. You'd like, don't do that one no more. You know what I mean? A couple more, whatever. However, like some people might do it in a couple of hours. Like some people might get instantaneous, like, whoa, is that what I do? Also, what do you do? Oh, is that what you do? I'm gonna do that then. And then boom. Their consciousness on their mind, it's on their mind now. It's at the forefront of their mind. So when that pops up, whether it's an hour later or 10 days later, that thing, they don't do that no more. They're like, oh, and they like wanna say you fucking cunt, do you know what I mean? But they're like, they've heard that my man says, just give us a minute. And they just use that. That's what they do now. Or just give us a minute. Go away, decompress, go find their person. That person might say, just give us a minute. And I go find like my pal that I can like have a little vent to. And then that's it, it's out the system. And then boom, that's it. So that's it from now on. And they get into the habit of that. Of like, oh, wait, 1 minute. So they never do that thing. Never do it no more. Do you know what I mean? Like, they just learn it. It's quick like that. Anyway, so basically what I was trying to say originally is patterns. So that person does gives a minute and just goes and has a rant with their mate and then comes back to the workspace or whatever, or wherever it may be. Maybe the partner or whatever might jump on the phone. Oh, mate, do you know what she's been made in? Whatever. Or he's been made in. And then that's the pattern of behaviour. So you just keep doing it. First, you have to consciously think of doing it. But then when you feel like that, that's just what you do. So that feelings, them horrible feelings that you get, don't go away. Some might listen, some might totally go, but some might stay peak performance, like just like fucking hell. But you don't go fucking hell. You feel like going fucking mental, like yeah. But you know, you're just there, you're going off alarming inside, but it's like, I've heard what you're saying. This is what I'm saying. but we can just leave it there and I'm going to go. But you'll feel like kicking off. So, but that's fine. Your feelings are your feelings. But there's a better way to deal with things. So that's the point of the podcast, by the way. Help people move on. But yes, it's getting into that pattern of behaviour. So like, I still feel a certain way. Like I said, some feelings have gone because I processed them. Some people have lessened, some have lessened, and some are still the same. Do you know what I mean? But I do need to do some. You're always working on yourself, and I haven't worked on myself for a while. So because like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm just better than I was. I'm super proud of who I am. My work and efforts and where I'm in life speaks for itself. Not a single drug sold, not even entertained it. Obviously, I told you I don't smoke or like whatever. Ganja I'm on about. Never vaped. Yeah, so like all that, like that's like my go-tos. My go-tos to chill out, my go-tos to like, it's all de-stressing, do you know what I mean? Taking stress off and taking feelings away or escaping my feelings. I don't do that, do you know what I mean? Because I'm better in myself, like I'm more comfortable within myself. I don't need to use external substances or chemicals to remove me from my feelings because my feelings can be managed anyway. But yes, it's getting into that pattern of behaviour and it becomes just your normal. Like you don't need to think about doing it. But I'm gonna look at myself again now. Not now. I'm podding now. But I'm gonna look at myself again and once let me check this phone. Yeah, I'm just gonna look at myself again and look at where I am, what's not working, what's working, and then get onto it and be on it for a few weeks, months. I'm gonna journal and I'll do like how the day went, what happened, like what worked well, what didn't work well, what I could do better, how I was feeling, what I was thinking, like the individual feelings, why I feel like that, what I'm thinking when I feel like that, and then what I want to do and what I could do. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but it just takes a lot of thinking, basically, which is like manifestation. But it's fun, I find it funny that like people have this manifestation to like just want to manifest themselves like a Bugatti outside, but don't want to think about themselves and just grow. Like I said, some things you'll grow like literally within the second of thinking about, like, whoa, like what the fuck have I been doing all this time? Like literally, like it's almost like you just had like a belly with no eyes, like you've been fucking cuffed, like you've been kidnapped, someone just pulled off, like whoa, fuck, you know, like I can see now, like what was I doing? But they want to light a candle, they want to bun some whatever, and then manifest a house on the hills, 500 fucking million pound or something. It's like, what? You can just clean yourself mentally up and get on the wave and actually do something about it. Anyway, but that's a side note. We'll talk about that in the future. But all to everyone that does that stuff, I'm not dismissing it because I do think it's good. And it does show some kind of thinking, like you are thinking about things. But I do see it as it's a passive thing, so people don't want to actually take control of their own lives. They just want things to just happen. I'm not saying things won't happen, because I've seen it loads of times, like, and people saying it like, oh, I manifested it, which is good. But the manifestation is them keeping it in a conscious mind. It's one of them ones, isn't it? I want to buy some red Air Max 90s. All of a sudden, all I can see is red Air Max 90s. I want to buy a fucking red Golf. All I can see is red Golfs. Like, oh, why everyone's buying red Golfs now? Like, I want one. Like, no, they were always there. It just weren't asked. It's just that when it's in your conscious mind, you can see it. And that's what I'm saying. So when we bring our own fuckery to the forefront of our mind, it's like, whoa, fucking, it's like, what I do? Like, you can't help but see it. And you want to get rid of it. Like, how do I not do that? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Take a bit of that there, do a bit what there, do a bit when they make your own version. Or you might be able to take what he does or she does straight away and be like, boom, I'll just do that. That works. That works for me. Boom. And that's your how to do it. But yeah, so just building that pattern. Building patterns, building behaviours, and it just becomes you. And that's it. I'm just like me now. Like I said, I don't have to like fight or argue or flipping sell drugs or do this and do that. And you know, but like I said, I'm not perfect, and I'm not special. Anyone can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Do you know what I mean? It's all about mindset, switching that mindset up. Yeah, impulsive decision making. I'm just trying to think of, make sure I've wrapped everything that I've started. I started a few fucking things there. Is it all wrapped up? If not, forget about it. It'll come up again. Or I'll remember and drop it at the beginning of the next pod, like I do. You know what I mean? Always tight them loose ends. But yeah, hold tight everyone that's listening. Marcus, no, DQNQ_lifestyle, the Facebook. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I ain't finished. You know what I mean? I ain't finished. I'm just throwing this in the mix. You know what I mean? So yeah. Impulsive decision making. So it's just like say, so it's just when you're gonna do something, you're just gonna just do it. So like, oh, do you know what? I shouldn't have had that drink last night. Because you did something or other, you know, you've rung somebody, you took the piss, or you've been out and fighting, or I'm not gonna say fighting, I'm always gonna say that because that's like violence was part of my life. And he's like, oh, I shouldn't have had that drink. Like, oh, well, why did you? Oh, well, what it was is, you know, something happened, and you know, I was feeling stressed and work was hard, and I just did it. You know what I mean? That's what I do. And that's it. Actually, one of the first things I tell you, I don't know if I've mentioned it already. One of the first things that I did on the TC was create space. What I would call create space, which was I learned to. They tried. There it goes to me. So why did you do it? Why did you stab the guys? I'm like, it was just a reaction. They're like, it's not. And I'm thinking, what are you on about? You're trying to tell me that first, I'm thinking, how are you trying to tell me? Like, what? How can you tell me? Because you're you over there in your own body, and I'm me here in mine. Like, I know what I did and how I think. Wrong. I didn't know shit. You think you know, you don't know shit. These people are saying this and that. Like, they're saying what I'm saying. They're saying, it's like, hey, do you know me? Like, or something. Like, when people like explain themselves, you can be like, when you know this stuff and you're like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, huh? This guy just like, did you know me or something? Like, did you know me from somewhere? Like, have we met? Anyway, he's trying to say it's not a reaction. I said, I was going for the night, swung it like Zorro, like, that's a reaction. They say no. They weren't explaining no further, they just say no. Anyway, it annoyed me. Therapy can annoy you because it's going against what you're saying. Do you know what I mean? But that's good, that's challenge. But a lot of times people challenge, and like I said, they stay in there. They think they can know about me. What they know about me? They don't know. They don't know how I grew up, and that's nonsense. Yeah, but it's like boom. That's the protective thing. You're doing all that. You're denying all that. What they're saying in denial is to protect yourself. So that's what that is. That's just denial. That's another one that keeps us in our own madness. That's another like mental health issue when we're just in denial about what we're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like you'll see it all the time. I don't listen. I don't know what you're on about. You. They switch it on them. Start getting onto them. Do you know what I mean? Like straight deflection. That's just called deflection. Do you know what I mean? So these are the things that I'm saying that when you drop below, you can understand. Oh, I'm deflecting here. Oh, I'm projecting. Projecting is like when you're just feeling shit and you're like, you start like growling at someone, getting onto someone when they don't know, but you feel like shit. So you're like putting it on them. Do you know what I mean? You do this, you do that, you do that. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel good at this moment. So it's like, oh, what's going on, buddy? Like if someone starts getting onto you out of the blue, like, buddy, what's going on? Like, what do you mean? You're always... It's like, okay, let him say a bit. Like, well, you're getting on to me out of nowhere. All I've done is just study her in the dinner queue on my dinner plate. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but... And it's like, and then eventually they'll come around because obviously it's the environment that we're in. It's that type of learning environment. What else? Where was I before I sidebarred again? People being in denial. What was I saying? People being in denial, what? Yeah, oh, that's it. They were trying to tell me about thinking I'm in denial. But I'm thinking about it still. It's annoyed me. It's really annoyed me. So it's on my mind. So I'm ruminating. It was good ruminating. So I'm ruminating. And I remember I must have been like, I don't know when this group was that I had. But I must have been in the community meeting. It's a community, probably like what they call an agenda where someone, like just say you pushed in the queue, in the server. The server's on the wing where you collect your food from. The hot trolley thing comes in. And then what's come from the kitchen, they make it in the big jail kitchen. And then the trolleys go, they call it a trolley, like a bain-marie or bain-marie, but they call them bain-maries in there. And wheel it in, it's hot, you know, you plug it in to the main so it keeps it hot, and then you transfer it over to your thingy, like you've got your fucking chips and your this and your that and your main meal and and you've got some fucking pudding somewhere and gravy or whatever. But you wait there, you're queued up waiting. Man might push in. Someone might say, come on, you know, don't, like, because they know they're going to get put on the agenda, but some might just think, I'm putting it on my agenda. Not telling people, he's not doing that to me again, he's doing that to me, he's been doing that every day this week. And then it's like, put it on the agenda. So they go up to the who would be the elected chair, like chairman, the person that chairs the community meetings. There's always a chair and a vice chair. The vice chair moves up to chair. The chair just loses his job. He don't lose it, but he just gets voted off. He's happy to leave. He's always happy to leave. Like, fuck this job. This job's hard as work. Like, that job is given to people that ain't got a voice, to build people's confidence, because the jobs that are always given to bring work out of them. This stuff that I talk about, or the things that you need to change, will be called work. If you start like working on yourself, then it's just called work. Just do the work. Do the work on denial. Do the work on ruminating. Like, do the work on impulsive decision making. So I'm doing the work here. When I'm saying I'm ruminating on it, thinking about it. But anyway, yeah, so someone might just push into the dinner queue rather than getting all confrontation like in a regular prison and this and that, like, you know, this fisticuffs from and out, verbals, whatever. Someone might just go up to the finger and be like, yo, I want to put Marcus on the agenda for pushing in the dinner queue. We're going to get into a community meeting. I think it was Fridays. Was it Fridays? I think Fridays were agenda days. I don't know if it was Monday and Fridays or just Fridays. It's like this big book, and it's mad. There were certain people in that book here that were just repeat offenders in that book. There's probably still got agendas in there now, like, ain't got worked through because there's so many agendas, and then specials take precedence overall. So just say someone like pushed in the queue, and I've gone, yo, we can't push in. He's gone, fucking come on then. Someone will be like, yo, boom, go straight to office. Run straight to office, like, needs to call a special. Marcus and Brian are going to fight because they're arguing about thingy. Boom, special, there's a special at 1 o'clock, like. And now we're going to talk about this because this is imminent. Like, this could kick off right at any moment. So me and Brian or whoever are sat on an agenda. I've never was on an agenda, and I never was on a special. Some people that's on them all the time do no fucking work. Really annoying. A lot of people do it, try and get themselves put on specials to get the attention. Imagine that. These specials and agendas, people hate them. Hate them. It's like the worst thing you can get there, because you're just getting an onslaught from 40 odd people. Question. It's embarrassing if you don't know your stuff, but some people can take it and be like, yo, I'm getting loads. Like, some people even say, like, I always want to dodge a special, go all the way through with no, like, no agendas or specials, but now that I've had one, like, it was the best thing that happened to me because it opened them up then finally to be able to get the gears working and stuff. Anyway, so that was a special agenda. So I was in one of them and I'm thinking about it, and someone must have said something, and it made me think, rah. It just clicked. I thought, I did think about reaching for that knife. I did, and the reason I reached for that knife is because I couldn't think about my boys knowing that these men have chatted to me. Alhamdulillah. Burps are back. Alhamdulillah. I couldn't imagine these men chatting to me. My brethrens finding out that these men have chatted to me in a certain way. I couldn't bear to think that these men are going to like, I just couldn't bear to think that these men are going to have anything to say to me. Be like, yo, what, them man chatting to you like that? Yo, dickhead, just call me Deekers. Deekers, yo, you got took for it. I couldn't face that. I couldn't face any embarrassment. Didn't like embarrassment. Couldn't face it. I'm not the best. No, I'm much better with embarrassment now. Humiliation is different because embarrassment and humiliation, two different things that they explain to me. Embarrassment is like lower down, it's not as bad. Humiliation is big, like, and I think generally, humiliation is something done to you by someone. So it's different if I'm walking, like, just say school days, because school days were pressure. School days, you walk in and you like tripped up a little bit, like you just stuttered, not even tripped up, just like tick, like when your chin goes forward like that, and there's people about and like it's embarrassing. You're like you dickhead, you might like grab someone and try to like, you know, goes into like a wrestling match, kind of you trying to throw each other down or something, like, but it makes it better because there's someone else there now. And then there's like you walk in and then someone kicks the fucking your back heel, like your ankle kind of thing, so it like clips the back of your foot and you fully go over and everyone's seen. He's humiliated you. It's different. It's different levels. That's ultimate. It's up there. And then there's jealousy and envy. Jealousy, I get jealous. I tell people, I say, yo, I'm jealous. But not jealous to the fact of like, I hate them. Like, you should see when I tell people that I'm jealous, you're like, yo, you're not jealous. Do you ever tell me that I'm not jealous because of how they view jealousy? Like, they don't understand jealousy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand feelings on a deep level, like the meanings and stuff, like, in counselling terms. So when I say, oh, you know what, you got that? What is that you? Oh, I'm jealous. Like, oh, I'm jealous. I want that. That's what I want, you know. Like, is that how you moving? Like, I want that, man. But jealousy can be used to motivate us. And that's how I use jealousy. Like, I get jealous. Before I used to get jealousy, I'd be bad mind. Like, yo, man, yo, you know what? Yo, man, got new kicks and that. Yo, go and kick his shoes. Like, I'm going to tell like some guy to just do a mad thing stamp on him. You know what I mean? Or stretch his cut or whatever. You know what I mean? Bare bad mind shit. But really, that's envy. That's envious. And that's the difference in like jealousy, humiliation, jealousy, no, embarrassment, humiliation, jealousy, envy. Envy people that are envious. They are the ones because they want what you've got. No, they don't just want what you've got, they want what you've got. Not, oh shit, you got a new whip, like, oh, top of the range. Yo, I want a new whip, top of the range. They want your car. You know the ones there. They're mental. Mental health issue. So a lot of these things, like I'm saying, so that's what I mean, like a lot of the mental health issues, well, what we call mental health issues, what it is with mental health issues, yeah? It's what gets my fucking goat, proper pisses me off, is it's only looked at really through the the psychiatric lens, which is medication. You go to the doctor, they send you to a psychiatrist. Do you know what I mean? They do try and send you to counselling and that, but the counselling, I don't know. No one takes to it. Because for one, like I said, nobody wants to actively do anything about it. Because for one, you weren't taught, so you don't think it's real, you don't think it's going to work. Because you still feel these ways and your feelings supersede everything. Not understanding that you need to have the thinking skills as well. That's what you're developing. You're developing your thinking skills to understand how you feel. Where people are so used to just everyone being around and being on some form of pill. So just imagine if someone's envious and all the mad stuff that they do. You say, yo, that man's mad, you know. Yo, his mental health not good. And it's just his feelings. So then he's going to get plastered with fucking drugs, yeah? If they do go down go to GP and this and that, or just say in jail, like, definitely, because GP is way more accessible in jail. Or healthcare. It's not a GP, it's not a doctor, you've seen a nurse. It's just healthcare, call it healthcare, HCC, healthcare centre. They'll give you some shit, you know what I mean? Not all the times. Depends what jail you're in, depends what the circumstances are, depends who you are, depends what you're saying, it's all this and that, but you got more of a chance because you can get into the healthcare easier. Some people can. I found it quite easy. Do you know what I mean? Some people can't because I think they probably abuse it. I don't know where it is, but some people, everyone's different. And obviously, if you really, really need them, if you've got toothache or if you really think you need them, then it's always going to seem slow. Do you know what I mean? And then, you know, if you're annoyed and that, you're going to say it, aren't you? So they're going to probably not want you to go down there and feel you kicking off. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so that's where it is. So he's going to get drugs now, medication. But it was just his feelings that are at hyperdrive. Like he's just overly sensitive because that's what a lot of us roadmen are. It's just a lot of men in general. We're overly sensitive. So we don't even think we're overly sensitive because we're being overly masculine in terms of being super threatening and super violent and super aggressive and switching on any little thing. But that shows no resilience, no tolerance. So if I'm like there, boom, got my arm out and someone's licking it with some big bamboo sitting, you know, some big strong man that's going blah, blah, blah. So imagine every lick is the equivalent of me being emotionally, like, with letting that slide, not bothered. It is where it is. They're calling me names, they're tech man, whatever. You know what I mean? Didn't get that job, whatever. You know what I mean? That's me being emotionally tolerant. If some fly lands on my arm, I'm like, ah! It's a little fly, boom. I kick off, just like if someone said, it's like someone, what? What are you looking at me like that for? Like, yo, like, bah, bah, bah. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? If you start like whipping man up differently over just like they was looking and tutting, that is just sensitivity. Like, but all the bad man, you know the bad man like this. So like, what? Yo, boom, flick out the blade, go to town, hospital or morgue. You're getting off. You might get free. You're probably going to jail, kid. You know what I mean? And that's just sensitivity. Like, what, you looking at me? Oh, yeah. That was one of the maddest things. One of the maddest things that was just so simple. I don't think I'm really talking about impulsive decision making, but forget it. You're getting gems. You're getting, woolly jewels round there, get dropped. Anyway, somebody, I don't know if it was me or somebody else must have said, you're always looking at me. You're always staring at me. And then one at Screws went, well, how'd you know? Because every time I look, he's looking at me. Or when I look over, he'll look at me. Or when I look over, he's looking away. Like, she's like, oh, so you're staring at him? No, I'm not staring at him. But when I look over it, but if you have to look at someone to know they're staring at you. So if they're sat behind you, or wherever they're sat, if you have to look at them, because they goes, oh, so how do you know that guy's not thinking the same about you? Like every time he looks over, you're staring at him. I thought, wow, that is the cause of a lot of beef, a lot of bloodshed, a lot of misery that reverberates through like families and friends and social circles and communities, all because people looked at each other, got the wrong end of the stick, and did something about it. Wow. If you're staring at somebody out or staring at someone, or if you think someone's staring at you, how do you know if you're not staring at them? You're the only one's there. But they could be looking for, and it's one of them about making connections. They could be looking for any other, like, they might think you're enemy. They might even think you're family, but they was looking over, like, with a certain look, like, but you don't know what I'm thinking. I might think, rah, that's a nice chain my man's got on still. Like, just appreciating it, not looking to take it out, like, yo, them kicks. Yo, my man's got some sick swag, you know. I mean, but I was looking. And it was because he looked over the way, he's kind of caught me. It's like, but you get caught in that, like, it's like two rabbits in the headlight, you just kind of catch each other, like, boom. You know what I mean? He's like, you can't look. The law of the land says you can't look away, you know, you're strapped, like, and then, like, boom, now you're looking over and you're thinking, yo, and we're back. Battery died. I'll keep it real with you. Battery died and I had some errands to do, so alhamdulillah, we're finishing up today. But yeah, so the impulsive decision making. I was on some tangents yesterday, weren't I? Giving people what they want. Yeah, so acting on impulse. So acting on impulse is like I say, like when you just, oh, why did you do it? I just did it. That's where I was actually going back to where they were trying to tell me about it wasn't an automatic reaction and didn't kind of elaborate and just left me with that. So like I say, I'm thinking about it, ruminating on it, but I'm ruminating on something positive that's going to have a positive outcome for me eventually. It was causing me distress, as overthinking does. I was overthinking it. But I'm in the best place for it. I'm around people that are open-minded, that have learned stuff, that are on a learning journey, on a growth mindset. What we tend to do is tend to be around people with a closed mind that aren't on a growth mindset. They know it all. They think they know it all already. And that's the worst type of person you want to be around. And you don't want to be that person yourself. You want to be constantly be in a position where you can be stood corrected. I love to be corrected. I will give my opinion or my thoughts or something, or I will regurgitate my education or my knowledge on the subject. And someone might be like, oh, well, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then obviously I still have mine. I haven't changed my opinion in the moment, but I've retained what they've said. And I look it up later on and verify, or I just, depending on how bothered I am, if I've got the time. But if I don't, then it might just be in my mind somewhere, and then somewhere I catch it somewhere else. I think, oh, that's what such and such was on about. Do you know what I mean? So that's how that person had an impact on my life by me having that conversation with them, and then like I said, we've gone about separate ways or whatever, whether I know the person or not, and you had to seep it in. So yeah, basically, you just want to be a person that's on a growth mindset, and like say constantly, because if you can be stood corrected, then you're growing, you're learning something new, you are adding to yourself. Whereas, just imagine, yeah, the equivalent of not having a growth mindset, yeah, is like a house being built and then never being upgraded as times change, as new technologies come along, as new materials come along. So like imagine being like a house built how many hundreds of years ago, never like updating it, never having to put in an inside toilet, and never insulating it. Do you know what I mean? Never like fixing up the crumbly walls, never like putting in from single pane wooden rotten frames to the wooden double glazing to the UPVC to the triple glaze. Like imagine never doing any of that, getting new radiators in, rewiring. Like imagine never doing that. And then the house next door to you is constantly like, as things are coming, updating as they come along. Obviously not week after week, but as they come in, getting it done. And then look at that old house, like, and that's where it is. Or I've got a family member, they are mash up. They won't take any check, like they won't listen to nothing. They're all trying to tell me something about another family member that was in school saying something's happened, and they said that the family members who can't take no check, we'll call them no check, yeah? No check. Said, they said that's racist. Oh, everything's racist now, they said. And, like, well, what? Like, such and such was at school and such a thing happened and this and that person and da-da-da. And, but the person was disabled, it turned out. I don't know if they were missing like a hand or something. But it's like, not racist. Prejudiced. No. Racist, it's racist. But both parties, or all parties were white. So how can it be racist? It's not racist, obviously, because it's got nothing to do with race. It's because one kid said something in front of our family member, and then our family member said, well, what's that? What do you mean? And then they got told that person is being, I don't know what they said. But I assumed that the other person was being prejudiced to the other, like, child. Do you know what I mean? So we're saying, me and another family member saying, no, that must be prejudice. Like, it's not racism. Racism comes under prejudice. Like, if you're racist, you're only racist. But prejudice comes under, like, it can be prejudice like heightism, ageism, racism, flipping, all this like LGBT stuff. Like, everything you can be prejudiced. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, you're racist. Like, they don't take no check. And as I've like come to realize after other situations with this certain no check, I just realized that this person that I used to hold in high regard, by the way, they just come tumbling down. Especially when they're like aimed, like they got a bit upset with me about like a madness. I'll probably talk about this soon still. They got upset with me for no reason. Other than wants and needs. We'll talk about wants and needs on the next one. Is it on my list? We've got a list over there. It's not on the list. It's important. It's going to be next episode. I'll do it today, but I've just been busy yesterday, busy today. Got working a bit. I need to get some food. Need to have a shower. Sweating up. Yo, it's hot. It's not even hot. It's just humid. It's just humid to death. I thought this was going to be my outfit for the day. No. Gotta get changed because it's sticking. It's mad. Anyway. So no check just come tumbling down in my opinion and estimate. Like, they are just so low now. I just think, whoa, not personally, they're still the same. I don't mean like I'm laughing at them because they've lost out or whatever. They're still in the same like predicament that they're always in. And it's just, like I said, I've just realised that this person's just a old child. Like, they've got there's no growth whatsoever. They've learned what they've learned up until, I can only assume, like 14, 15 or something. Maybe 16. They've learned a couple of things that work, but that's just underneath everything else that they've learned. So they're just so reactive, like a child. Like a stubborn child. So a stubborn child, I think, a stubborn, grumpy child seems older than a naive, happy child. So they've always seemed older, and then they'll come with facts that aren't even facts. Do you know what I mean? Like, it don't matter that you've learned whatever you've learned from whatever like course you've done. Oh no, they know someone in their personal life that rubbishes all that. Is that what? What? Like, it's mad. Anyway, digression. Impulsive. So, got off my topic again. I don't even know why you guys listen. Gosh, yeah. What was I on about? No. I have to do some serious editing on this to make myself look Look smart. You know what I mean? Hey, if you're still around. Impulsive decision making. What was I talking about? Having a growth mindset. Oh my gosh. Keeps coming back to this flipping thing. I don't even know why I can't finish what I'm trying to say. So anyway, ruminating, overthinking, whatever, but it's on something positive. It's not about being on the TC because I can be around people that are on a growth mindset now, because I am, like, where I work now, I'm around people. There's only like one or two that are just a bit, that are all sure, trying to show that they're on this thing, but we can just see through it and we just think, you just, like, it doesn't matter that, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just a mindset. It's just not the same mindset as the rest of us. So I talk about this hive mind thing, like on the roadside, everybody all roadman follow the same rules. It's like we're all hooked up to the one giant brain. All think the same, talk the same, walk the same. Like, my brethren don't need to tell me to go at that time. I'm just going. You know what I mean? I don't need to tell that man to do that thing when someone does something to him. He's just going to do the mad one. Because that's the mindset. The shared mindset that I am detached from now. I'm attached to the next one. But there's a couple of people that I work with, they're not attached to our hive mind. A hive mind is like, do you know, ants or bees? Like, they're like drones. They all know what to do. Everything that these bees or drones do, they do it for the set. They're like Crips and Bloods. They put it on the set, homies, you know, the ones there. Like, every time an ant goes out, he's picking up that piece of twig, that leaf, bringing it back. It's all for the queen. I think they're both rocking queens, actually. That's all they deal with, is be queens. And same as a bee, when a bee goes out, the bee goes miles out, knows exactly where it's going, he's getting his nectar or whatever, bringing it back, pollen and or whatever it is, making the honey. It's all for the man them. It's all for the queen. You know what I mean? It's all for the set. They're doing it for each other. And that's just like anything else. Like when you're in the same job or whatever, or your family's supposed to be like that, but a lot of families aren't. You know what I mean? My family wasn't. You know what I mean, it's not really like that now, to be honest. But some families still are, got that core nucleus and revolve around it, which is good. It's a good thing. So yeah. So you can just have people around you like that. So I've got people around me like that. So there's a few people that aren't like that, but that's by the by. That's how it is. I'm getting sidetracked again. I keep getting sidetracked off this main point. I can't be on me talking about this for like an hour. 2 days. I mean. So yeah, I'm thinking about it and something's clicked. Did I ever say this yesterday? I swear I said something clicked yesterday. So in the meeting, something's clicked. And I thought, I did think about grabbing that knife. I did say this. I've already said this, but I'm going to say it again. I did think about grabbing that knife. You know, the ones there. Like, it was in my back pocket, by the way. And I did think about grabbing that knife. And I never realised that because it was so quick. It was like, yeah, right then, boom. I've made the decision. Like, that's it. I'm locked on. I wasn't engaged. Boom, I've engaged now. Like, that's it. We're not leaving now until, you know what I mean? Yo. Till it read, because they just won't stop. Do you know what I mean? So if you won't stop, I'm on now. I'm switched on. I'm activated. So, you know the ones. Anyway, you know the ones. But yeah, so it was a decision. I didn't think it was a decision because it was just boom, boom, boom. It was like procedure. Boom, boom, boom. I was like efficient at, like, you know what I mean? That's what I did in this environment, like with like these back and forths. Like that's what I did when I got these feelings. But it was a decision, and what I thought was like you couldn't get a flipping atom through gave me space to think, whoa, it was a decision, and it wasn't the best one, because that flipping 11, 12 seconds got me flipping, geez, it's like 72, 73 months in prison. Like 2,000 days or something. Like, or 2,000 nights, however you want to see it. Flipping, how many weekends? 52. What's half of 520? What's half of 52? 206 there. 300 plus weekends. You know what I mean? Certain man can't go, or certain girl can't go 1 weekend without going out. You know them ones there? I have to go out every weekend. If they don't go out 2 weekends, boom. If it's been 4 weekends, say, oh, it's too long, I need a night out. Me. Man's away for time then. You know them ones there? Off 10, 11 seconds with her madness. You know them ones, like, what is that about? Like, It fits. I've said this already. The damage fits the crime, whatever. That's calm. What I'm saying is what I did to me. So what my mad decision and that amount of time it took with that decision, what that landed me, that's the consequential thinking we're linking back into there. Because all these things I talk about, they all interweave, they all interlink. Just like the chakra them, but that's not something I'm into really. But I'm just saying about intertwining. Do you know what I mean? Things intertwine, they go away, they come back, they link into the next one, they link into it again. It never stops. Just like, yeah, I'll stop the metaphors. So that space was huge for me. That mental space to make me think, whoa, that was a decision. Because every time I've done something, whether it's just, do you know that, just shut up to a family member or, yo, what? Like, you know, I'm producing, flicking out things. I'm like, what? It seemed like it was me, but being on the TC and thinking about it, it's like, that's not me though. All right, I'm doing that, but it's almost like possession. I'm being possessed every time I'm acting like this because it's not really what I want to do, but it's what I'm doing. And then you're too far in then. You've already told the person to shut up. The knife's out. Like, you're saying, what done? Like, what do you want to do? And then if they want to interact more, then let's go. But if they don't, I'm getting that satisfaction that I've just dominated. It's all about, you know what I mean? Dominating, controlling and domineering behaviour. Getting something out of it. Because it's all messages that we're projecting. So I'm telling shut up, like I've said it before on the last one, like I'm telling people to shut up because I just want to be left alone. I might tell them to fuck off, or I might hit them, I might push them. Not say words, push them. Because we're always communicating, whether verbally or behaviourally. But there's ways to do it that work. In some environments, you might need to get aggressive because some people just don't listen to anything else. If you start acquiescing, meaning start like shrinking away and just giving up and giving in, just letting it go, like they're going to take the piss more. So you have to posture up like, yo, you have to bark a little bit and growl. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what they understand. You know the ones? It's like the rules of the jungle, like make yourself look big. You know the ones? You lot get it. You know what I mean? I know I'm talking to people that are clued up. Also, I know that people are listening that are clued up. But yeah, so with the impulsive decision making, like I said, just allowing me to have that space and that gap was massive. And that was the first thing. That was the first bit of work that I did. And I literally felt it because I knew from there, other than observing, like I said, them two gangsters, them two brummies, dealing with set man in a different way rather than like in barking and growling because we're in a different environment. You know, the ones there. So that allowed me to know that things can change and that you can be different. And that was my first bit of work that literally, like I said, I felt like in my mind, it seemed to just go like, whoop. I don't know, I can't explain it. It was just like there was space to think, space to maneuver. You know what I mean? I wasn't like, I had 1,000 people just on me, burying me. It's like they backed off a bit and I can like maneuver this like this world better. Impulsive and decision making. So even going back to it, like on the night of the crime, that was impulsive. But like I say, there is thought there. It's just that the neural pathway is just so connected up. If you keep right, this is probably more for the man them still. Kick ups. Before you're gonna kick up, you kick that ball, it goes over there. You kick it once, it goes over there. You kick it once, it goes over there. You might kick it once. You might just clip it with your big toe on the second one. You've got two. You haven't got that pathway, that mind muscle connection, that ball to foot, like coordination, balance, all this. You haven't got these ones yet. Do you know what I mean? You haven't got that experience to know how much pressure to kick the ball with, where the bowl's gonna go and what different bowls like, because you might try it with a flyaway one day and then try it with some big popped egg thing. You know, them bowls that we used to have back in the day was like it had like a bowl inside it and the egg had popped, like, they're all different. And they get one of the mitre ones that were like concrete or something, they're that thick, you know what I mean? And then you like can start to weigh that up, how much pressure to put in. And then so like you've built a neural pathway from like one place to another, and it's thin. Strand of hair. And the more you work on this, the more you work on this. Now we're probably like sick up like hiccups and shit. Now that neural pathway is as thick in our minds as a fucking tree trunk. Do you know what I mean? That's how strengthened it is. You can't karate chop that. I seen a man kicking a metal bar the other day. Sickly. It was stamping on it. Was it a wooden bat? I think it was a baseball bat. It was nunchucks. It's stamping on them. Won't break. Put it up on the wall. What do they do with him now? The sellotapes or something. And he kicked the shit out of him. Anyway, you can't break this neural pathway that we've done now with these kick-ups. That's there for life. Like the riding the bike thing. Might get a bit dusty. Might get a bit weak because it's not being watered. It's not getting enough sunlight, so it's a bit, right, you know what I mean? It's a bit, but once you jump on that bike, once you get up on that bitch, I want to start doing kick-ups again. It's getting the light. It's getting the nutrients. You know the ones there, the soil's fertile, my lad. It's fertile. It's getting watered. It's getting strong. It's thicker again. Guess what? It's thicker. And that's what I'm saying about the Mazzolines that we go on. Man them, girl them, we're all poorly. Yeah. We're just used to saying, fucking get in now. You fucking naked, you're fucking da-da-da. That neural pathway is just mad strong. Or my other like analogy about the field, when you're cutting across the field and you start to get like a dirt trek through it, because that's how many people like are walking, the grass is overgrown a little bit, but that bit's calm. Because man roll through that every day. Every day we don't walk around the estate, we walk straight through that bit of field there because it's quicker. But if we stop going down that way and start cutting through this bit, they've cut the grass now, council of the mind, they've cut the grass down. We're on the growth mindset now, you get me? And we don't go that way no more. Because there's no point going down that way because that's all destroyed. It's all mud down there. Like them flats are all desolate, empty. So that's the mad thing. That's the bad negative reaction that we have down there. We don't go down there no more. Now we go down there. Nice city. It's nice down there. And it's hard to go down there because you have to wade through the grass. The grass ain't cut. I'm lying. It's hard to go. We're ducking on the trees a little bit. We're wading through the grass. And we can get to the nice bit where not everyone's at, but everyone that we want to chill with is at. There's still a few rodents in Mad City, but they can live in Mad City. We don't want to go down there. Pooley City. We went down there. And then it's a bit, stepping over bricks and there's a tyre there for some reason. And you notice there's a Tesco trolley there, innit? There's a trolley there. Get that out of the way. But we keep going there. We're coming back. Obviously, we keep going there. You know what I mean? And now that is starting to cut through now. That grass is down. Because the first bit was hard. The first few times of going to that positive place is hard. You know the ones. So then that becomes your impulse. You know what I mean? That's all overgrown now. It's all growing over. Seeds are blowing over. It's growing. The dirt's growing grass again. And then the large grass is growing over there and that. Because no one goes down there. And then this place now. This is cutting through. This is the cut through. And it gets easy to walk down there. And that becomes the new impulse. Like the new habit, the new behaviour. Because the behaviour is how we act. So I say behaviour, but I'm just saying about how you act. So if you're acting like a dickhead, and it's like, but what were they doing? What was Mark doing? He got drunk. He came, it was all right. And then he started having a few flipping Ray and nephews and he started getting loud. And do you know what I mean? And I'm flipping, I've got some demons going on in my life. Like I've got some past and that I'm talking about. I ain't dealt with it. So like I'm getting drunk now. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking people don't want to hear me because no one's paying me attention and that. And that's my neglect stuff from growing up. So I'm manifesting it because I'm acting it out. It's becoming into reality in front of your face. I've gone from a quiet guy having a few to you're not thinking, you think you're bad, you. Ooh, do you know what I mean? I'm knocking stuff over just to get attention, whether it's good or bad. That's what a lot of people do. Most people can find it easy to get attention, but the attention is negative by just doing something off the wall. Something it's not looked at too well. So yeah, so that's how I'm behaving. They were my behaviors. I was drinking, I was getting loud, I was smashing stuff, I was fighting. Acting like a dickhead. Do you know what I mean? But that's how the behaviors are set out. Do you know what I mean? Not just them behaviors, anything's good. Like good behavior, like he behaves alright, like he's alright. Like if I was to show you how I was to deal with a situation, I showed you my behaviors, how I behaved in that manner to de-escalate the. Do you know what I mean? Like, Marcus was talking to him in a low tone, like boom, like not overpowering. He had like a soft features. He had open palms. Do you know what I mean? He kept well away. Like he was listening to the guy. He was showing him that I'm listening. He kept saying sorry. Like these were the behaviors that he was displaying, because you can copy my behaviors. He said, "Oh, it was like this," and he was like, he had like his eyes like this, and he was like, "Yeah, sorry, mate, but what can we do for you? Like, do you know what I mean? Nobody wants no trouble, but what can we? You can mimic my behaviors." And that's just what behaviors are when I say behaviors, if you're not understanding. So I know when I first heard it, I can remember behaviors at school. It was always bad behavior. Fuck knows what good behavior was. Good behavior was like this. Not talking about doing your work and that's it. I'm not seeing you messing about. So you haven't messed about because I haven't seen you do it. Always bad behavior. I don't know what's happening with this camera still. It just clicked off there. Hopefully it was only for a second. You know what I mean? I'm just having no luck with this camera situation, me. But anyway, I think that is long enough on this subject. Impulsive decision making. Man, I rant, but that's so it go. That's what my thing's. It's not what it's about. You know what it's about. I've explained already what it's about, but that's how it's gone. So, needs and wants next time. I'll stick it top of my list. You know what I mean? Is it not on there? No. But yeah, we'll get into it. We're going to get into it. We'll get into that next one. Anyway, Marcus, DQ&Q Lifestyle Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate everyone. You're all just the wickedest, wicked and bad. Hey, hello. Gone.